Hey y'all, I just wanted to share two really cool tools that I found that would be a great addition to East Cobb Middle School. I found Quizizz, which is a very fun, interactive quiz type game. It reminds me a lot of Kahoot, just with more features. The first feature that I really like is you can go in and you can find a quiz that's already made. So, for example, in my class, we have been talking about gravity and inertia. So you can click on it, you can play a live game, or students can play a solo game. As a teacher, I can preview the questions really easily as I scroll down. The app tracks data over time for students. So, for example, earlier this week, I gave a quiz in my classroom as a review for the test, and you can see we didn't have a full amount of time, but students were able to go in and individually or with a partner answer some questions. Kahoot kind of moves students at the same pace, whereas Quizizz, students move at their own pace. And it's a great formative assessment tool. I can see the accuracy which with each student is answering the questions. So, for example, if we had had the full amount of time and Bryn and Lila had only answered 3%, I would know that they need more help than, say, Alon and Aaliyah. It's just got a great format. You can add classes, you can save collections, you can share quizzes with coworkers. So, for example, this Unit 1 review, one of my coworkers shared with me, and I think that's extremely helpful. The other thing I found that I really like is Plickers. Plickers is a similar platform in that, like, you can put in your own questions and you can quiz your students. The best thing about Plickers is students do not have to have their own devices. I find that, especially in a school like mine or like our school, it's not a one-to-one device. I'm not guaranteed an iPad cart or a laptop cart. So Plickers works with these cards you can either buy from Amazon, and students turn the card based on the letter of choice. You see an A, B, C, and D all around. The top choice is the choice that they choose. And a teacher just has to scan it with like an iPad or an iPhone, and it'll give immediate feedback to the teacher. It tracks over time. You can check each class period and add your students. And so it's a great, ticket out the door or just a small quiz. It would grade it for you and just give you that immediate feedback that as teachers we're looking for really quickly. I would say the main difference is Quizizz is a more interactive game style with probably higher student engagement because it kind of appears to be a competition, even though there's not a major competition like in, say, something like Kahoot. My favorite thing about Plickers is just that there's no bring your own device required. Not all schools have that, and it doesn't put pressure on students to have devices, doesn't make anybody feel inadequate for not having a device. It's not as competitive, and it's not as, say, jazzed up as Quizizz. So to me, it might have less of a student engagement appeal. But I think, for Quizizz, you could use it as a review game for a test or maybe like a reward at the end of a class. I think Plickers is a good ticket out the door or quick quiz assessment. And I really like with Quizizz, you get the immediate feedback, and it's just the fun engagement piece and appeal. Like when you look at it, it just finding a quiz, it looks like more fun to students. And that's kind of, that keeps them engaged. I think, the feedback to teachers to assess learning quickly is important. And both of these tools give that to teachers quickly. Thank you very much for viewing. And hopefully you'll find one of these tools helpful in your own classroom.